Hi guys, it is me, Vampire Helly, and today we're going to be talking about vampirism and how you might be a real-life living vampire. Apologies for my face. I've gotten a cold, and so my face is just, it's a face. Real-life living vampires can get sick. We have human bodies, our souls are vampiric, but our bodies are very much human, so we can get sick. But I digress. This video is about you and your journey and questions you may be asking yourself if you have just discovered the real-life living vampire path and you're wondering if maybe that's you. I'm gonna give you a few signs that you can take and go over with yourself and see if maybe that is a path that resonates with you. Now, huge disclaimer on this video, I can't tell you if you are a vampire or not a vampire. We'll talk about what a vampire is versus what a vampire isn't, and then we'll go into some signs that maybe you're a vampire, but I suggest that you go by yourself and meditate, do some divinations, do more research than just this video, please, and then come to those conclusions on your own. But I can't tell you, and nobody else can tell you. If anybody tells you that you're a vampire, don't listen to them. Like, maybe they're right, but that's not for them to say, you know? Only you can decide who you are, not anybody else. So what is a real vampire? What is a fake vampire? Like a fictional vampire. A fictional vampire is like Dracula and Lestat, like all those really cool vampires who wear fangs, you know, who want to suck your blood and, you know, fly around and are very magical and very mystical and very awesome. Sleep in coffins, you know, go at crosses and burst into flames in the sunlight. Those are really cool. I love fictional vampires. I think they're cool. I'm obsessed with the aesthetic. I love it. But that's not what a real vampire is. Now, the reason I wear all of this is for two reasons. One, it's my job. I'm a live streamer, and I live stream as a fictional vampire and do a lot of acting. For two, it is a reflection of my soul, and so I like to dress like this in public whenever I feel that I can. But what was I saying? That is a fictional vampire. A real vampire, and we're going to break it down into the most common two. There are more types of vampires, and I'm gonna go into that in a different video, but the most two common are psychic, which is energy feedings, and sanguine, which is blood feedings. Now, with sanguine, you need to be really careful because when you're doing blood play, you need to make sure that everything is safe and clean. So please do your research before you practice sanguinism, and for energy work, you need to have consent of someone if you're taking deep energy. Now, if you're just sucking ambient energy, which is energy that's around people but not on them, like say you go to a concert, say you go to a place that has a lot of hype, and there's energy just floating around their head and it's not on them anymore, it's out there into the world, you are more than welcome to just swoop it right up and take that energy for yourself. And there's ways to do that. It's a lot like Reiki. There's a lot of meditation involved and a lot of I can't even say it. Visualization. That was tricky. I can't speak English anymore. It's okay though. A lot of that goes into it. And feeling your energy and playing with your energy. Before you start doing energy work, like with ambient energy, I suggest, you know, sitting by yourself and meditating and feeling your energy, what it feels like, what it looks like to you in your mind's eye, things like that. But energy work, sanguine, those are real life vampires. It's a path. It's a very spiritual path. But you don't necessarily have to worship any deities along with it. I am eclectic in my practice, and so there are vampires who worship deities like Lilith and such. I personally don't. Me and Lilith vibe, but I work with Odin. So being a vampire, you can either have a deity, not have a deity. It's kind of like practicing witchcraft, right? You don't have to have a deity. That's a whole other separate thing. You don't have to practice witchcraft. You don't have to practice tarot. There is tarot. Tarot. There is vampire magic out there, and that's fun. That's chaotic. We'll talk about that in another video. But this video is about the basics. Sanguine, which is blood, and psychic vampirism, which is taking energy. Again, if you take energy from someone, you're going to need their consent because you're taking something that does not belong to you whatsoever. But yeah, now we're going to get on to the second part, which is, do you think you're a vampire? Ooh, the tea is hot for this one. Slurp, 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 slurp. Okay, do you think that you might be a vampire? Again, I can't tell you, only you can tell you, but these are the signs that I found for myself. Number one is the sun. Yes, I don't burst into flames when I go out in the sun, but I and many other living vampires have reported feeling very nauseous and fatigued in the sun, and only finding reprieve hours after the fact, or if you feed on energy to get that energy back up. Number two is a craving for something. Now, if you're a psychic vampire, you're craving energy, and you need that energy because your soul is not supplying its own. And you need the energy of ambient energy, which honestly, deeper feedings, of course, are going to be better, going to be a stronger energy, but ambient energy can work for a time in a pinch. So you're craving energy, you need to take that energy, and maybe when you're new and you don't understand that you're a vampire, you may take energy without asking, but if you don't know that, please don't feel too bad because you didn't know any better, but now you do know better. So don't do it again. Ask consent, please. It's super important. But don't beat yourself up if you're new and you're like, wait, when I was 10 years old, I took the energy out of everyone in my family reunion, and now don't go down that rabbit hole. Forgive yourself, do your shadow work with it, whatever you did, and forgive yourself and do better in the future. But you're craving energy. You need the energy from other people. If you're sanguine, you're craving blood, straight up, straight up. And honestly, I don't think that it should be as taboo as it is. I can't talk about it on like other apps. I think it's okay to talk about here at least a little bit. But if you are craving that, please do proper research and don't use my video for reference if you're sanguine, because I'm not sanguine. I can't tell you about sanguinism. I only know the very basics just because of being a psychic vampire. You also learn a little bit about sanguinism. I don't know about sanguinism. If you're sanguine and you're craving blood, please go elsewhere. This is not the video for you. I don't want to lead you down the wrong path. It's very important to make sure you have the proper tools, to make sure that everybody's checked out and healthy. So that's what I'll say about that. So that's the second thing, is you're craving something, you need something to replenish you. And when you get those things, you feel very powerful. You feel like almost invincible, like you can take over the world. You can do anything you put your mind to. You feel refreshed, you feel youthful, whether that's energy or through sanguinism. When you get that, you're like, wow, what have I been missing out on? And so, of course, you want more of it. Only natural, right? Number three is, if you see a cross and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you might be, I'm just kidding. Something kind of spicy about vampires. If you feel like you're a little extra spicy, and I do have to be careful with how I say this on here, more spicily awakened, that may be a sign that you're a vampire as well, because vampires are very awake in that area, and they love that. And that's even another type of feeding, is that type of spicy energy. But we are a little extra spicy. Another thing that I do, as well as a lot of living vampires, we're very active at night. That is a trope that stems in reality. We're very creative, most of us, and we tend to work better at night. We tend to feel better at night, like physically, and our minds tend to think clearer at night. So those are some signs that perhaps you're a vampire. That doesn't mean you are a vampire. It could be something else going on. Of course, if you have physical concerns, talk to your doctor. If you want to talk more about vampire stuff, I'm definitely going to post more things. There's so much to go over. Like, this video is just like one teeny tiny pinky nail I hope that's not like a bad word in sign language or something, but a teeny tiny pinky fingernail of what it is to even be a vampire. There is a darkness there. There is this like calm, serene embrace of warm, beautiful darkness that comes with being a vampire. And I would love to talk more with you about it in the next videos. So I will, because I like making these type of videos. But again, just because these are common living vampire things does not mean that's who you are. But take what I said, watch some other people's videos. Daily South, Logan South, those are really cool people to watch about this. And read some books. There are many books about vampires and vampire magic and things like that. So do your research, due diligence, your research, all those things. Stay safe, stay spicy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.